The Institute of Internal Auditors presents All Things Internal Audit. Benito Ybarra sits down with IIA St. Louis chapter leaders Sarah Knox-Hansen and Stephen Yashuk to discuss why volunteering matters. From being voluntold to leading by choice, they share how chapter work strengthens leadership skills, builds camaraderie, and keeps auditors energized. They also explore post-COVID engagement challenges, creative programming shifts, and practical advice for anyone considering raising their hand to get involved.
What first brought you to your IIA chapters?
Well, that's an easy one for me. It's just my passion for the profession and hoping that in my position I can help it grow and progress forward.
I'll give an extremely honest answer here and explain that I was voluntold to get involved when I was at my first job in public accounting. My firm was very active and we had a role opening up as the AP specialist. So I took that over when we had someone leave the firm, and I held on to that role for a few years until I myself moved on. My participation waned, I would say, for a year or two while I was having children, and then I missed it. So I got involved again and I helped maintain the website, and then I rolled into the officer track, and I've served as the secretary, the membership officer, programming officer, and president.
Awesome. Well, I have a very similar experience. I was voluntold too, so it's not all bad. How would you say your chapter involvement helped you understand the profession of internal auditing?
On the job training, you're learning the how-to, but I would say the IIA helped connect me to the why and also helped me feel connected to the profession as a whole, and to be excited about it and to know that I wasn't alone and that this is a valued position within a company and as a service provider. And it helps just keep me motivated.
I'm actually relatively new to my current role, but I think it has started to really remove the veil of what kind of goes into everything from the national level even down to the chapter level.
What would you say are some of the things that you've contributed so far and that you've enjoyed about your roles in the chapter?
The challenge of my era of leadership as an officer was the post-COVID era. So we have struggled with maintaining engagement with our chapter, and being involved has enabled me to just think outside the box, try things, understand that I also have the support of the other leaders at my chapter to say, you know what, if it doesn't work, that's okay. We've tried it. We are trying to do best by our members and offer them what they're asking for. And that's different for everyone. This is a common theme amongst all chapters, and it's nice to be able to ping ideas off of the other chapter leaders and also then connect with them and maintain that camaraderie throughout the year as we're, trying to plan events and ask questions of one another and source materials.
Yeah. No, that's good. What I found also in my experience, right? Anthony, our president, keeps talking about human intelligence, right? And the need to keep building that. Obviously, in your roles, you get to practice and strengthen that as you work with other people, try to contribute to their successes. You also, as you volunteer, learn how to be more of a leader, right? In terms of taking charge of things, which is something internal auditors don't usually get to do in their organizations. Have you noticed any of that seeping into your daily role in where you work?
For me, the alignment of my officer leadership role has aligned professionally with my growth as well. I don't think it's a coincidence. Yeah, some timing may be aligned, but it's a direct application of skills that I employ both professionally at my firm and as a leader in the chapter.
So, as I said previously, I am newer to the role, but I have had the experience to use leadership in my professional role, and I'm hoping to use my role with the IIA to grow those skills, refine them, and hopefully put them to really good use to better the profession as a whole.
Being a chapter leader, being involved with chapter operations can also be fun, right? So can you think of anything fun that you've experienced as part of being a chapter leader? Anything that sticks out in terms of stories that you may want to share?
Sure. Well, leadership is always top of the list. We also, in my chapter, we try to keep the spirit of networking alive. One thing we tried the last year or two is moving most of our training to a web-based model, and then focusing our budget efforts on networking events, because for me, that's personally one of my favorite things about the St. Louis chapter is seeing everyone that's involved, maintaining those connections. So, we do fun things like we went to an arcade last May to celebrate IIA Awareness Month. And, it's just tokens, and we had some drinks and pizza. And so we do try to have fun as well, even though, it's a professional organization.
Sure. That's good. That's good. So what would you say is something you've learned about yourselves through this, journey through chapter leadership?
I've learned that everyone who is dedicated to the IIA and their volunteer and leadership positions has a voice that matters, and everyone is respectful of ideas. It's a big effort to be involved in your chapter at the leadership level. It's a years-long commitment most often, and I've been pleasantly surprised to see the level of professionalism and support that the other leaders provide, and it's a really cool experience, as I didn't really have any insight into that when I joined and decided to sign on as an officer. And it's really helped me professionally to have the support. I've benefited personally and professionally from those relationships that I've formed.
At the most recent IIA Leadership Academy, I learned that most chapters seem to struggle with a lot of very similar problems, such as bringing in new members, student members, volunteers, involvement. It really shows that we all have been facing the same problems post-COVID, getting people involved, getting them back in person, not necessarily to force that, but just to see one another. I think that's something we all want. So seeing that common goal and those common struggles, I think, has been pretty good.
To follow up on what Stephen said about pursuing volunteerism, I will reiterate that yes, I would say in the post-COVID era, again, we have, and I know a lot of chapters have fallen prey to a leaner operating model. In St. Louis, we're pretty light on volunteers, I would say. And just with the administration of our chapter inbox, for example, a few of us have access to that. We're volunteers. We also have full-time jobs. So it usually does, it's a weekly occurrence, so we'll check the inbox. So if it takes us a week or two to respond to you, just know that we are not brushing you off. It is just a matter of, when our calendars show availability for chapter administration. We're here for you. It just takes a little time. But if you do become involved, that, we could start forwarding the emails to you, and you can help assist other members in any given way. That would be amazing.
So what's something you wish more people understood about chapter volunteering?
That it's probably not as time intensive as they may think, and that it really just depends on their level of commitment and how much they want to do. But at the same time, chapters need that involvement. We need help. So if you do have that desire, make it known. Don't assume that people are going to reach out to you. Try and be proactive.
That's good advice.
Great response there, Stephen. I echo that we have 1 million tasks. So in any way that an individual might want to contribute would be helpful to the chapter. So if you want to listen in to an officer call and say, hey, I can help check these tasks off the list, that would be supported. Don't be afraid to get involved because of the level of commitment. It's completely personalized, just as Stephen said.
And you do get something out of it, right? You've both mentioned what you've learned, how it's contributed to your work lives.
Yes, exactly. So if you say that you're a volunteer with a professional organization, people notice. You can put that on your resume, you can carry it with you always, and you will want to stay involved because it's fun. It's a component I think is lacking in today's society. We're very focused on work. If you have a family, that's always top of the list along with your career, focusing on 100% at home, 100% at work, but maintaining a connection of camaraderie, of support with your peers at work is going to help propel you professionally and keep you invigorated for all of those efforts when you become exhausted.
I love what we do. I love the profession. And I think as auditors, sometimes we get stuck in the details. And it's nice to be a part of the larger organization. It's been very enriching for me. It feels good, kind of like Sarah said, the camaraderie with your peers. I think it's been very enriching for me in that way.
That's great. I mean, I've been a part of this profession for almost 30 years. It started for me as a volunteer that I was voluntold to do, right? I could tell you the volunteers are what make this profession and this organization really special. You got to see and experience what others have gone through. And you mentioned some of those things that are commonalities across the United States, across North America. So that you're contributing in the way you are is very much appreciated. And I wish you the best, and thank you for your time today.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Light a fire under your future at Ignite 2025. It's all happening October 6th through 8th in Las Vegas or online. Fuel your growth, spark new skills, and earn up to 15 CPEs. Register now at the IIA.org. If you like this podcast, please subscribe and rate us. You can subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. You can also catch other episodes on YouTube or at the IIA.org. That's THEIIA.org.